Welcome back to Ranting Rampage, the series where I rant about stuff that, I ran about stuff in this series, so without further interruptions, let us begin. Now, I've kind of wanted to talk about this for quite a while. Today I'm going to be talking about Ebola, but not necessarily Ebola itself, but what the media has done and how people have been reacting to it. But before I begin, I'll start with some history on the disease itself. This is from what I've gathered through websites and in my college preparatory health class that I take. Ebola has been around since the 70s, and it's named after the Ebola River in Africa. The disease is believed to be given to humans through monkeys or apes. It is the infected person exchanges bodily fluids with another person. That person is likely to get Ebola unless they use soap and bathe themselves, which isn't common practice in many African nations, since most of the African nations are third world countries. Now, Ebola has only recently come to the United States, and people are believing that this disease has just been announced and discovered, believing it's going to wipe out humanity. However, this disease has been present in Africa since the 70s, and only now has it reached the United States, nearly 40 years after its discovery. Now, so far, only a few people have contracted the Ebola virus in the United States. Two nurses that have cared for a man with Ebola who sadly passed away. One of them is now Ebola-free, while the other is still infected, receiving treatment at the time of this video is being made. However, a few doctors and other people have come to the United States for treatment for Ebola that they have contracted in Africa. Now, I have a feeling that this Ebola scare will die down in the following months. But however, the media has other plans than to just let it die. The media has been overblowing things to an insane level ever since day one of this outbreak. Just like an 8th grade teacher overhyping how high school is all scary and hard and how you all fail if you don't get perfect grades and behave perfectly. The media always overhypes everything. For example, there is a manhunt going on maybe 15 miles north of me. They are looking for a man who has been hiding in the woods for 6 weeks. I remember back in week 2 or 3 the news anchors for a local news station go, "Where is Eric Freed? Could he be in your own backyard?" And I just had to facepalm at this because, first off, the man does not want to be caught. Second, he wants this manhunt to drag on. He doesn't want to be caught, but he wants this to go on. He wants them to look for him. And I feel he's planning another attack. And also, right now, it looks like he's only targeting law enforcement. Now, for the record, I hope damn well they catch him and lock his ass up for what he did. But moving back onto topic, the media just overhyped everything. They're overhyping the Eric Free manhunt right now that's going on here in Pennsylvania. They're overblowing that. Like, every day you always see a possible sighting, alleged sighting of Eric Free, when it turns out it's just some guy. Or some rabbit or some tree. I don't know. The media has been known to do that, and they've been doing that recently with the Eric Free manhunt, so that's why I'm comparing it with the Ebola outbreak here. Now, for the record, the media overhyping everything only adds to the fear of Ebola when there shouldn't be any major fear. There's no reason to be concerned. There is a reason to be concerned, sorry. And I am concerned about Ebola. The media overhyping everything just only adds to the fear. Ebola isn't going to wipe out humanity. At least I hope it doesn't. Ebola isn't going to spread in the United States. It's not airborne. It's only transferred through bodily fluids like HIV or AIDS. I think they're the same thing, I'm not sure. But the media has been filling you with lies. If you live anywhere outside of America, it may not be that bad. The media may not be overhyping things to a giant level. BBC might be. I'm not sure, because the outbreak hasn't happened in European nations or Asian nations. But every news station wants people just to listen to the lies they spew from their mouths to make you all afraid and to make you tune into their next segment on Ebola. The media, however, just wants you to watch their news, and that's really all. But here, all the news articles online on Ebola seem to be nothing more than clickbait. To wrap it all up, the media is filling you with bullshit, and if you want real information on Ebola, ask your doctor or look on medical forums for better information on Ebola. So, yes. Now, on the second part of this rant, people's reactions to Ebola and why some people are taking it way too far. And the difference between just flat out wrong and comedy. I forget what it's called. It's like comedy when it's like in a dark time. I mean, I remember I was only 1 year old when 9/11 happened, but looking back on it now, the South Park episode that came out after 9/11 was actually pretty funny. It was called Osama Bin Laden Has Poopy Pants or something like that. That was a really funny episode. And that, for me, that cheered up a lot of people who were still anxious from 9/11 and who were still afraid. That cheered them up. That gave them a sense of hope that everything's going to be alright. And there's time for laughter and a little joking when major disasters happen. But there's just taking it too far. That is, I forget what it's called. I forget what that kind of joking is called, but if someone knows, leave it in the script. Leave it in the comments. I'm not giving you access to my description. Leave it in the comments. But while people have genuine fear about Ebola, lots of people just don't care. I mean, I say you shouldn't have major fear, but again, you shouldn't be concerned but you shouldn't be like careless, because you gotta be concerned about Ebola. You have to be concerned about all new diseases. You have to be concerned about a lot of things in life, and a lot of people aren't. But going back onto topic, many people instead mock Ebola and make really unfunny jokes about it. Just because it's not big here in the US yet, or it won't, that it isn't affecting your life doesn't mean it hasn't caused panic, suffering, and death in other countries. Ebola has killed over 5,000 people and has infected over 5,000 more. Ebola is not funny in the slightest, and people make it seem like it is, which is wrong. I don't want to go into this too much, but because it depresses me how people can act like this, but still, these jokes. I remember seeing a picture of two guys in Dallas wearing these contamination suits, like, oh, look at Ebola. I mean, what the hell is your problem? And also, this just joking around just makes people more afraid. Makes people like me more afraid of Ebola, because I'm afraid people are going to joke around like this. Because I remember back when cancer was starting to get big, I don't remember this, but back when cancer was getting bigger and bigger as a disease, people were joking around about it. Oh, you're gonna get cancer. And people still make cancer jokes today, which is still wrong. It is morally wrong. And for me, Ebola jokes are morally wrong. Just like 9/11 jokes are morally wrong, unless they're done right. But I'm not a judge on jokes, but they're just going across the line. And seriously, these people don't even know what they're talking about most of the time. Ooh, Ebola. Like, oh, also, in class, there's this one girl from Africa who is in my class. And really, people have been making Ebola jokes, alright? And I'm just like, cut it out. And this one kid's a different kid. He starts getting a bloody nose, and he has to go get a tissue. And as he's getting up, walking around, getting to the tissue, everyone's just going, Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. I'm like, what the hell is your problem? It's a nosebleed, not Ebola. And these people don't even realize that it's not airborne. So when someone coughs, they're like, Ebola. It's like, no, that is literally my high school freshman class. That is literally what they are. They're just all Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. And that's just morally wrong. And I go to a Catholic high school. You'd think there'd be less of this, if not any. There would be none of this in a Catholic high school. But still, there's people who do it. And I'm like, what the hell's your problem? Seriously, how would you like it if you had a disease where you were dying and someone just goes to you and go, Ebola, or just points out the disease you have and starts laughing? I'm like, how would you like that? I'm sure the people in Africa don't like what you're doing. Why would people here want that? Would someone who has cancer want to hear someone go, cancer, cancer, cancer? No one would want to hear that. So just shut up. I swear some people deserve to have a muffle over their mouth from the crap they spew from their mouths. That's so morally wrong. I swear. Some people just, ugh. I mean, I'm gonna calm down here because I feel like I'm getting dehydrated because I'm really thirsty, but in a total, Ebola jokes aren't funny. And if you make Ebola jokes, you're not a nice person. Unless you can actually make it kind of funny and actually kind of nice to just try to cheer people up. But if you're just blatantly pointing at someone going, Ebola, that's not funny. And you're acting like a total douchebag if you do that. And also, the media, however, is the greatest douchebag in this entire situation, as the media doesn't know what they're doing on either. Sometimes they don't even know what they're reporting, and most of the time when they are reporting on Ebola, they're spewing lies. They're spewing information that is incorrect or largely exaggerated. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. By the way, if you want real information on Ebola, go into some medical forums, talk with your doctor. They'll probably know. Or take a health class in school. There you can get much more information, right information, correct information on Ebola. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching.